Hello, wanted to check in as you get started with week 3 and highlight something new that you may or may not have used before in a Carmen course site. But first, I'll touch on a couple of things. For the most part, I saw really good examples in your week 2 discussion posts of responding to the prompt. I recommend that you be really clear in if you're asked to list, for example, 2 or 3 or 4 things that you learn from a reading or examples of something, that you consider enumerating those, or if you go for just a paragraph or sentence structure, that it's really clear to the reader, that's me, that you're shifting from one idea or one thing learned or one example or one symptom or one outcome to the next. Also, as most of you did with this movie, you had examples to illustrate what it was that you had learned about Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Providing that very short example helps me to understand exactly what idea you're trying to communicate and demonstrates the work that you did getting through the coursework for that assignment. So keep up the good work. If you receive that kind of feedback from me, if you receive feedback with suggestions, please do check out those videos that I made for each of your individual responses. I probably won't do that every week, but I want the chance for you to get a sense that you're getting to know me so early in the semester. They're only about 2 to 3 minutes long, so it won't take up much of your time. This week, in week 3, you're looking right now at the class discussion page that comes up after you complete the coursework for Module 3. You'll see that there is a discussion that's due and a personal thoughts discussion that is open to you every single week of the semester. You'll see also that this week 3 discussion requires a peer exchange. So be sure to keep that in mind because you have a couple of other things that need to get done in this 3rd week of the semester. I'm going to go ahead and advance to the next screen. That's Checkpoint, and it makes reference to your group projects. Now, I realize from having gotten emails from you that the course listings were not 100% in my interpretation of who was in the Lima section, the Mansfield section, Marion's section, etc. So I am working to straighten that out. So you may still see some shifting or get an email from me asking, can I move you into this group so that you can be grouped entirely with people who are on your same campus. I just think that's going to be easier if we can do it. So that being said, there is a reference here in this second paragraph that talks about Carmen Connect. You may be really comfortable with Skype and with FaceTime or something else to communicate with your team members. You might find that you can meet with them in person on campus, and that's great. The reason, however, that we have this expectation that you use Carmen Connect to host a synchronous meeting with your teammates is because Carmen Connect is what you're going to use to record your webinar. So getting a little bit of practice with this software before you have this major assignment due is going to build your confidence and comfort using the Carmen Connect. And if you run into problems, way better to be asking for help and clarification now rather than in week 14, 13 of the semester. So that's what you have referenced here in that second paragraph. You'll also see in that 3rd paragraph that there's reference to accessing a group homepage, and that is something that I'm going to take you to. I do not know how this click here works. It's really tricky, I have to admit, as an instructor in these classes. While I can go in and select student view, I'm not able to view these group homepages the way you would if you had been assigned to a group. So I apologize for that. If you find that this click here does get you to your group homepage, like Dementia Lima, it'd be great if you'd let me know. I would really appreciate it. So rather than click on this click here button, I'm going to take you to where you can go and find this information. Try the click here, but if it doesn't work, let me know about this. What you're going to use this group discussion, this group homepage for is just to communicate with each other. It's a way that if you don't already have everybody's cell phone or you don't already see each other in class every day of the week, you can use this group homepage to have email discussions with each other, and you won't have to worry about sharing it with the entire class or looping me in on any of that. It's also a good way to document to me how you are engaging with the class. So should there be a point in the semester where you express concern that you've been emailing somebody in your group and you haven't gotten any responses, that is a place where I can go and see how people are participating in the group's effort on the project. So let me go ahead and go on over. What you would do as a student in, let's say, the LGBT group is you would go over here to people. And then what you should find is that I have created project pages for you. Now I can see all of them because, of course, I am the teacher of the class. Lucky me. So for you, you should have just one group that's listed, and you should be able to click on that gear to visit the group homepage. So right now I'm in the Dementia Columbus group homepage, and you can see that on the left-hand side that there's a menu where I can start an announcement. If I wanted to send out a reminder, for example, after the group had decided when they're going to have their first synchronous Carmen Connect meeting, or you could use discussions to get something started. So I could just go ahead and add a discussion to say, if you're comfortable, let's swap text numbers and talk about when we're on campus on the same day so that you can set up a time in that regard. So this is a page where you can also go to files and you can upload things to share and edit. Others of you may wish to use things like Buckeye Box or what have you, but this is a place that people can commonly access with to share materials as you're working through the semester. So think about that as a resource. All right, so it's your group homepage. It should indicate your group. Like I mentioned, some of you may see some shifting in membership this week as we figure out who's on campus where and who wants to be connected to their own campus colleagues. So let me back up a minute. Excuse me. I'm going to go back to Module 3. Checkpoint. And the last thing that I'll remind you, because there is a lot going on this week, is that you are asked to identify 3 times, that's week 5, week 8, and week 11, when all the members of your group are free to get together and have that synchronous meeting. It could be a weekend, it could be evening, it could be during the daytime. You're going to post these. When you click on this link, it's going to take you to an assignment. You're going to list out the date you're meeting, the time that you're meeting. And if you are meeting in person, you better tell me that. I'm going to offer feedback to you that one of those in-person meetings needs to involve Adobe Connect, because I also am going to join one of your 3 meetings. All right, so that's what this is. So you've got a group 3 discussion. You have personal discussion to share if you like. You have got the posting of your synchronous dates and times. And to do that, you're going to have to access your group homepage to start communicating with your project members. So those are the main things for me to share this week. Thought it would be helpful if I could offer you the visual. I hope you have a great week and that you communicate with me if you see something that sounds like I've got a misunderstanding of where you are on campus, or you find something funky in the posting of assignments. I do think that it is an artifact of having these shells that get applied across multiple sections of the same class and that are often used from semester to semester. We try our very best to keep things up to speed, but if you notice something that's a little bit off, make sure to let me know and I'll correct it or find out how I can fix it, or tell you that it's exactly correct and doesn't need to be corrected. But I make lots of mistakes, so I'm happy to take a look at what your questions are. Don't forget this help button down here. Some of you have already been in touch with me and have learned that my expertise definitely lies in aging, caregiving, dementia care, family caregiving, not technical assistance with library resources and Carmen. I'll do my best if I can, but you're probably going to get a quicker response going through your Carmen help resources. All right, that's it from me, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I thank you in advance for your patience as we straighten out these semester project groups. Bye.